Here we are with the Showtime extraordinaire, Al Bernstein. Al, you commentated a fight last Friday between Guillermo Rigondeaux and Rico Ramos. What did you think?
Well, I thought Rigondeaux was just too much for him in every capacity, obviously. Rigondeaux, one of the best amateur fighters ever in the history of amateur boxing. And I think what he showed in that fight was that his experience, his power, and his defense are three things that people are going to have a hard time dealing with in that weight class. Is he the most exciting fighter on the planet? Not necessarily. But he's shown us in his last two fights against Willie Casey and then against Rico Ramos winning the title that he can be very aggressive and that he can win by knockout and that he can overpower you when he chooses to do so. So I thought it was a great performance by him and a very tentative one by Rico Ramos, who I think got rushed a little bit and probably won his title too early.
Rigondeaux called out Nonito Doanire. How do you see this fight unfold?
Well, I think it's an interesting fight. You know, Nonito Doanire has to fight somebody to win a title at 122 pounds. It'll either be the Japanese fighter Nishioka, or it could be Guillermo Rigondeaux. And either one would be, I think, a fascinating fight. My guess is he'll fight Nishioka first, but I could see him fighting Guillermo Rigondeaux later in the year. And I think it would be a very interesting fight.
I just received the note that you're going to be MC an after party for Victor Ortiz. And
we were supposed to do it. That party's been postponed, though. So I'd love to talk about that right now, but it's actually been postponed.
Oh,
we were going to do it. They were going to do it, but the company that was doing it is going to wait and do it at a later fight.
I see.
But
final question: the whole boxing world is thinking about Pacquiao Mayweather. Is it going to happen in your view?
You know, to my way of thinking, it's probably not going to happen on May 5th or early June, it doesn't look like. So the only other time this year it could happen would be later in the year, but then Floyd Mayweather has to serve a 90-day jail sentence. And whether they can get that together for later in the year, I don't know. And if it doesn't happen later in the year, I'm thinking it's not going to happen. You know, and the world will go on spinning on its axis. You know, you know, I think we'll all lead meaningful lives if they don't fight. It'd be nicer if they would. The main reason I'd like to see them fight is because the mainstream media has fixated on that fight as the state of boxing. That's the only reason I care about them fighting at this juncture. If they don't, the world's not going to end. But the reason it's important is because even though boxing has produced all these great fights over and over again every month, the mainstream media doesn't cover them, so they have this vision, this tagline that boxing's in trouble, and look at demonstrations, they can't even make the biggest fight out there. So that's the main reason why I'd like to see them finally make this fight.
If they did fight, who would you favor and why?
Well, I used to think that Manny Pacquiao was going to win that fight. I was actually pretty convinced of it because of the number of punches he throws, the angles he uses. He may still win, but his performance against Juan Manuel Marquez really disappointed me for a couple of different reasons. He didn't show us all the things that he has done before. So a key opponent made him change. Well, if Juan Manuel Marquez made him change from what he's doing in the last, you know, few years, then I think it's very likely Floyd Mayweather Jr. would. So I would lean toward Mayweather in this fight now, whereas I leaned toward Pacquiao before.
So here it is from Al's Boust, your ears. Thank you.